My name is Tiffany Hill, and this is my intellectual autobiography project. I was born at Singing River Hospital in Pascagoula, Mississippi on December 31st, 1992, which means I am a New Year's Eve baby. I was actually born at the same hospital my dad was born at, and both my parents grew up in Pascagoula. However, I grew up in Hurley. There are 3 key events I'm going to discuss in this project. The first one being that I gave my life to Christ at a very young age. This is probably the most important key event I'm going to discuss. And God is in the very center of my life, and I truly believe without Him I would not be where I am today. Another key event is when my engagement was called off back in 2018, and I had to move back to my hometown of Hurley. Everyone says that breakups make you stronger, better, and wiser, and that couldn't be more true. For the longest, all I was concerned with was getting married and having children, and that's all I really wanted out of life. It wasn't until after my breakup I realized that there is so much more to life than a husband and children, and that a college education is the most important thing, and having a career and being financially set. I learned that my identity is not found in a husband or from children, and that having a career and being able to travel and learn new things is very important, as well as having a family. Another key event is when I changed my major from elementary education to interdisciplinary studies. And this isn't something that happened all of a sudden. It definitely wasn't planned. For the longest, I was going to school for teaching, and I really had already been questioning my career choice. It wasn't until I failed my praxis test for the 5th time that I realized that maybe I wasn't passing these tests because teaching wasn't meant for me. So I went to my advisor, and we sat down and discussed all the different options, and we realized that interdisciplinary studies, community services was the best fit for me. An influential idea that I feel like needs to be discussed is that we need to disregard the idea that certain life achievements should have a deadline. I know that everyone has their own clock, and we all achieve things at different times in our lives. And I knew for a while I was very discouraged because I thought I would already be married with kids and have a degree and have a career in my own home, but that isn't the case. And, I learned that it's okay to not graduate college until 28, and it's okay to not get married until you're 30, and it's definitely okay to not have kids until you're 35. Life does not always go according to plan, and we need to realize that most things cannot be defined by time and age. The role of academia is extremely important, and it's not only important because most places require a degree, because a lot of places do. It's because working people need higher levels of education to overcome technological demanding occupations. And also with a college education, you can earn more money, and it prepares people for the future and helps them socially and professionally. An issue I'm going to discuss in this project is poverty, and I've never really given it a lot of thought until doing this project, and I've learned that there are several ways we can reduce poverty. Examples being we can create more jobs, we can raise minimum wage, and we can provide paid leave and sick days. And dating back to when I talked about the importance of academia and how it can increase income, I feel like that even though most students take out student loans, just like I do, and that will be paid on them for many years, a college education will still help reduce poverty by increasing income, just because you're making more money. Education is very important. I learned that after my breakup, as discussed earlier, and I feel like whenever you have a college education and you're able to get a more stable job, it can reduce poverty. Also, if your spouse went to college as well, combining your income and making more money can reduce it as well.